So my bold take is that the cybersecurity industry, do not have a talent shortage. I think we have an opportunity shortage, um, meaning that I think there is a gap in giving real chances to emerging talent. Um, Not really earth-shattering truths. I mean, we know this. We've been saying this for quite some time. But when I say shortage, I don't mean that there are no jobs. There are definitely jobs getting advertised and all. I mean, we have created a lot of barriers to entry so high that the people who want to help secure our cyber world cannot really get in. And I don't think that is a talent gap, that's an access problem. And why I said that is we constantly hear about like the millions of open cybersecurity jobs. I think I've been hearing this since I have known the industry back 7 years ago. We need 3.5 million, 4 million with the tech layoff, etc. But try telling that to a person who went to school, trained, certified, all things that we advise, like build home labs, and still even cannot get an interview because they don't have 5 years of experience and assist. I still don't have assist because I didn't need it so far, or not a unicorn for an entry level position. Um, while I understand that the current job market with lots of candidates being on the market, etc., I think we're labeling jobs as entry level while expecting middle level resumes. And I think expectations are sort of becoming unreachable. The door is closed on people who are, ready to learn and grow, but need someone to just let them in, give them chances. And I see this with folks that I mentor, etc. And AJ, you might have seen it as well. We keep asking for diversity, but we don't recognize talent when it comes in a different package. I think we expect unicorns, but we don't build them. I think instead of hiring for potential, I think companies expect people to be, pre-trained, but how can they, if no one gives them that, entrance, that first shot is the biggest question. And I think what we need internships. I was an intern when I started. I know those opportunities are usually open for students, and that's what I advise: apprenticeships, rotational programs, on ramps into the industry. And I don't think we lack information either. There is a number of resources you see on LinkedIn, a lot of free resources getting. There is guidance. With mentors, etc., people who want to get into, training. But I think what's lacking is that opportunity piece. So my ask is like, instead of asking like, why don't you have experience? I think let's ask like, how can I give them that first opportunity? And I believe that's how we can close the gap and open doors to future of cybersecurity. That's my bold take.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the myths of millions of unfilled jobs and all these opportunities, I think there are a lot of jobs out there. There's a lot of companies that are hiring, and there's still a very good demand for cybersecurity professionals. But at the same time, there's a extremely high barrier to entry to find roles in there, and I think it's part of it is economical. Right now, every board and every CEO is being told to do more with less, to leverage AI, to reduce sizes of teams, and unfortunately, cybersecurity is one of those areas where they look first instead of sales or other areas. So I think there's some market pressures there. I also think cybersecurity, like probably most fields. I don't know any other field, but like most fields, probably there's a lot of network aspect of it. Where I was talking to a buddy of mine who was trying to get a job, and he was frustrated because he was going through multiple rounds of interviews and getting to the final round, and then they're like, everybody's loving him, and then they're like, actually, we're going to go with somebody else. And I told him, I was like, do you remember how you got hired at the last company we worked together? He was like, yeah, you basically opened up this job for me, and then I got hired. I was like, yeah, like that's probably happening too. Like still behind the scenes, like people know each other, people network very well. So I think there's a lot of pressures. The one thing I'll challenge, that I agree with the overall thing, but I'd love to get your thoughts on this. The one thing that I'll challenge is that well, not really a challenge. I agree that we need employers to give more opportunities, apprenticeships, internships. We just don't see that anymore. And I think that's, again, economical. Everybody feels like they're too busy, don't have enough resources to do this. But I bet if any company just asked, hey, we want to start an apprenticeship program, we want somebody to lead it, every single company will find people that are interested in leading this and being a part of it and spending their time doing it. I don't think that's a problem. However, I think the job seekers need to take some agency in showcasing experience without getting experience. And my mindset has shifted on this over the years because of my interaction with traditional software engineers and UI UX designers and all of the product stuff I've done over the last 5 years. And I've seen people that come from no technical background be able to enter and succeed as UI UX designers or as software engineers. And it's because they have a way to showcase their skills before getting the job. They create portfolios, they build things, they go do hackathons, whatever. And I think if we adopted that mentality of like, yeah, I don't have a job, but look what I built. I have this project that has automated this part of security review on AWS, or I've done this. And I write about it in my book. And there's a section where I say, like, when I open up a job for a GRC engineer, I get 150 applicants in like 2 hours. It's crazy. Most of them don't fit the requirements. Most of them don't have the experience, but I would say about 30 to 40% do. So I'm looking at now like 50 resumes that all look the same. And in the book, I talk about, well, if one resume has 2 years of experience, another has 2 years of experience, both went to the similar schools, both have the same amount of certs. But if one person has a resume full of projects and the other just has a resume full of jobs, I'm going to talk to the one with the projects because I can see it and I can go click a link and I can go see what they did. So I think as the job seekers that are going to hear this, I think it's important to say, what can I do to kind of take control of this situation? Because I'm not going to get I think you just got to assume until apprenticeships, internships come back. Maybe me and Zinet could pressure enough companies to do this and get these back. But until that moment, you're going to have to accept that, all right, I'm competing against people with experience. How do I stand out? I think there's a lot of opportunities right now with AI to accelerate learning and learn certain skills and be able to do things with these tools that it would have taken years before. And it's like, if you figure out what is that like kind of weak point in the market, and I can speak for GRC professionals, most GRC professionals are not technical. So if you go get some technical skills and do some projects, chances are you are going to be a much stronger candidate than one with 5 years of experience.
I agree. I agree. I think I spoke from the organizations like as a system,
Yeah,
how people giving up in terms of I think my bold take is from the perspective of the hirers, but it's interesting to have that perspective, and I always advocate for that. Like not only learn, you do the hands-on things, but also build your brand in the same time. Because if you caught one of some of the 10 things what I would do if I get into security or cloud security is that I see things in parallel. I don't think that you should be getting just certifications, but you should be able also build labs so that you can talk about it in the interview, because that might be the only experience that you're going to bring to the table. And
exactly.
so talk about it because it would be serving multi-purpose. You're on the side also building purpose so that, employers can see your potential, vertical.
Yeah. I think that you're a great example of the power of showing work, but also building a brand around it because it allows you to have a lot more to talk about in interviews. And when people see your name in your resume, again, like if I'm looking at your resume compared to someone else with the same experience, same education, same certifications, yours is going to stand out because of the brand building, the projects, the things that you've done. And I think that's a good lesson for anybody that's listening to this. Like, you just have to kind of not I think sometimes job seekers take everything personal, and it's like, don't take it personal. Think about it this way. I'm an employer. I'm looking at resumes. Unfortunately, that's the process that we have to go through. I can't see your personality on a resume, but if your resume looks, and I don't mean like the design, please don't over design your resume, keep it simple. But if there are things on there that are different, it's like, oh wow, look, she's a TEDx speaker. She wrote books. She does. Oh, okay. Now we see something 40 under like it's like okay, now we're seeing these things that it's like this is someone who's different that has more to them than just experience. And I think you're a great example of the aspect of building the brand too with those projects because you can't just do projects and do them in silence and expect them to work. Like again, if this is, I think a lot of times people forget the fact too that cybersecurity is a great profession. Like we live a good life. A lot of us work from home. We get paid very well to do what we do. So it's high value, which means these companies aren't going to just hand out money for no reason and great benefits for no reason. Like you have to earn that. And I think a lot of times people forget that it's capitalism. Like it's a transaction at the end of the day. They have to see the value in you, and one way to do it is building your brand.
Yeah, I think you said it from, like learn in public. It's something that you've always said back in since we've connected back in 2020,
Yep.
my first mentor ever. So I think that's really important. And I think while you're learning, you're doing that on the side. You're also helping other people, getting inspiring other people. Even if you're serving one person, that's worth it. And then also you're doing, that's how I got my role from, before. Sometimes it can be a challenge having that online presence can be bring you more questions and all kinds of things, but that's another thing. But I think in terms of like employers having more expectations from one role is another topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Cloud security back in 2021, the requirements weren't the same in 2024. There weren't like infrastructure as code, no Go language and Python back in 2020.
Right.
As someone who entered the cloud security space, just not having cloud practitioner from AWS, so that won't work right now. It would be a
Right.
hard, but you have to keep up because things evolve. I mean, we can't say the DevSecOps culture, all kinds of things like they just evolved over time. There is still a cloud thing. Remember before AI came and everybody made it a big thing, but yeah, I think it's a great perspective, like just both sides. But I always say, even if the tech layoffs are happening, it seems harder. I mean, what's yours is always yours. Like you just have to control what's in your control, do the things that's expected of you. That's the learning, the showing up, the consistency that no one can take away from you. And then when the time comes, you're gonna stay ready. Like you're ready already. So that's what I always advise for my mentees and people. So yeah.
Absolutely. That's a perfect place to end right there.